This probably is something that a lot of people are talking about today after what happened with Xbox not too long ago. And, I'm one of those people that kind of look at these things and I go, this is sort of weird thing to kind of happen since, Microsoft has been pretty good about this stuff. But it really goes to show the overarching problem with game ownership, always online, and inability to like play your games and things like that. I feel like that is something that a lot of gamers are. Some gamers are very understanding about this. They think, oh well, at the end of the day. It's fine not to own games or whatever the case may be. Like for me, I'm always the kind of mind that we should definitely be able to have ownership of our games, and we should be able to play them offline if we want and things like that. I'm not talking about obviously. I'm not talking about a situation with like Game Pass and stuff like that. I get that that's like a rental service, so you're never going to own those games. But it's one of those things that kind of happens, and we just kind of some people just kind of pass it off or forget about it, which I feel like is a weird thing to do. With that being said, the Xbox online service recently suffered a outage, and there was a lot of players that were affected, not able to sign in, not able to play games. It's been confirmed as a major outage by the Xbox team, saying you may not be able to sign in to your Xbox profile, may be disconnected while signed in, or have other related problems. Features that require sign in, like most games, apps, and social activity, won't be available. So obviously, it's one of the things that wasn't fixed. It took a long time to actually fix it. For those that wanted to play games offline, obviously, listen, if you game share, you're kind of screwed because you won't be able to really play anything even if you set your thing to offline mode. But this really kind of showcases a problem. Like somebody like me, I wasn't able to really access anything, so it kind of is what it is. But it really shows that as we go forward, relying totally on like these servers and things, is really, really insane, right? At the end of this thing, at the end of the day, Microsoft really needs to come up with a better plan of action, because so many people aren't able to access their games, not able to sign in, can't get their content, and this is really the big problem. Like, and people going forward think that cloud gaming is going to be the thing, right? Like, to me, it's kind of ridiculous to think that. And then when you see just how bad this outage was, and then you see everybody kind of looking at it from a different kind of perspective, I think that it was just really Microsoft dropping the ball and showcasing why we need some change in this area, because so many people were saying, like on X and things like that, saying, hey, we're not allowed to, I can't access my games at all, I can't sign in, I can't do anything. And if you can't sign in, you can't access your games, and it's just kind of this vicious cycle going round and round, and people not able to kind of do what they wanted to do, even though they paid for their games, right? Like, that's the main thing to me is, we're paying for our games, and, we can't access our games. It's, and I know some people are going to go, hey, you're just complaining about stuff. You just like to complain about things. Who cares? It's, fine, touch grass or whatever, and to me, when I kind of look at this, I'm kind of, I shake my head a bit. I'm like, listen, gamers are a fickle bunch, but at the end of the day, we're all kind of looking at these things, and we're all kind of shaking our head and going, hey, maybe they can do better with these things. So I hope that these things can change. I hope that everything can kind of come about, and Microsoft can kind of make this right. And for me personally, I feel like it is Microsoft that has so much at stake here, because they're the ones trying to kind of push this kind of agenda or whatever, that hey, everything's going to be safe, everything's going to be playable, all this kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, we're all kind of screwed with our games and not being able to play and things like that. So I understand, things that, it happens. But, at the same time, when you look at this and you go, okay, well, they're trying to push this and this, the multiplayer gaming, digital media, all this stuff, major outages, for 7-8 hours. That's a real bad situation to kind of find yourself in. Other Microsoft operated services, including like Minecraft and Microsoft Store, also had a high level of error on the down detector as well. So we have to kind of remember that going forward. Now, what can Microsoft actually do to kind of prevent this? I understand everything with servers and things can like have an issue or whatever, but Microsoft wasn't very forthcoming with what was actually happening to people or whatever. Anything that required having an Xbox Live account was completely useless, and people were rightly so upset about it. I think that's like the main problem that people have, was that Microsoft wasn't very forthcoming with like what was going on or anything like that. Considering the ability to kind of play your games, and so many people, I guess we kind of take this stuff for granted at this point. We're all in this kind of weird world where we kind of want this kind of gratification and things like that. So hopefully they can work that out, but it really does spring to like a big problem or whatever. Like, even if you have like physical games, this is the interesting part, right? So even if you have physical games, like let's say, oh, you have the physical copy of Halo Infinite and you want to play it, you pop in a disc and you're like, I'll play it. No, because there's no data on that disc, right? It just is kind of a like a code basically, and you download the game. There's a lot of stuff like that on Xbox. There's a lot of weird things where they'll have a disc, and and then anyway, that disc won't actually be like a playable thing. So we'll see like how that works out and kind of what's going on in the future right there. But for me right now, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this is an unfortunate situation as an Xbox fan, because Microsoft really kind of had dropped the ball a bit with this, and not communicating with fans has always been sort of a big problem in any kind of industry, but in particular one that's kind of relying on the online aspect. You have to be able to kind of be online and play these games and stuff. So that's a big problem. I hope they can kind of get this worked out to where it's not really as a big issue, but again, that's really on Microsoft if they're going to be able to do this. If they really want people to go, okay, well, we have this digital only handheld in the future, or whatever, you got to be able to do better than that. They want people to rely on the service. Well, you can't access the service. You know what I'm saying? We live in a world where if you can't get what you want there's other places that have it. So, I understand nothing is 100%, but at the same time, you can do better for your fans. You can always do better. And I understand PlayStation has gone out. I don't know about Nintendo, but hell, Nintendo, like, who cares if you're connected or not? You can play whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's like some advantages to having like that old school setup or whatever. But like for Microsoft, for what they're trying to do, I don't understand why they kind of are kind of stuck in this way that they are right now. It really doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, but maybe that can change before too long. I really want to see what happens in the future if they can get this kind of stuff worked out to where we can play our games. This is why I'm not sold on digital only or whatever. It really, to me, is that going to be something that I'm excited about or whatever? Not really. I'm never going to be excited about, this type of future where it's digital only or whatever. But maybe you guys are. I don't know. So, let me know what you guys think. I certainly do appreciate it. Like I said, I do daily video gaming content. If you guys are new, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. If you would do me a solid and like the video, as well as possibly consider subscribing, those things help out the channel a ton, man. There's no use like sugarcoating it. Those are what help out the channel. So if you guys want to help out the channel, please do so. like the videos, share them out, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad. But anyway, rack them up. Crep Gamer out.